Hello and welcome to this edition of WAOH TV. My name is Aaron Coleman, and I'm here with a special guest today, Jeff Wilhite, the Executive Director of Family Promise of Summit County. Jeff, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well, Aaron. Thank you, and thanks for the opportunity to be here.
Yeah, thank you for coming here. And tell me a little bit about how the organization has grown since you took it over 12 years ago as the Executive Director. The organization itself has been in place since 2004. But just talk to me a little bit about how it's changed and evolved over the last 12 years since you've been the executive director.
Mm-hmm. Sure, appreciate that. When I came in as director 12 years ago, we had what was called a rotation model, very, very heavily supported by, we had 12 congregations across the county that opened up their buildings to our program. And the way it worked is the families would come to us in a state of homelessness. And let me back up. That's the difference between our program and others, is we help homeless families with children. That's the distinction. It's not individuals that are served. It's families with children.
Okay.
We don't define the family. That's not our place. It could be grandma and grandkids. It could be mom and dad. It could be dad or mom. We don't anything. The issue is to get the kids into a safe environment and shelter. So the program worked under what was called a rotation model at the time. And what that meant is that over the course of a 12-week period, each of the churches would provide us their building where the families would come and be with us today, work their case plan to get back on track and get sustainable housing. But then in the evening, we would transport them to that host church for that week. They would spend the night at the church. The church would provide them a dinner at the end of the day, breakfast in the morning before they came back with us, and then any amenities that that particular building had. If it had a gym, the young kids had an opportunity to play in the gym. If there was a playground with the church outside, that kind of thing. So fast forward, COVID hits, and that changed the whole dynamic. We had just prior to that started renovating the former Battered Women's Shelter building over on Copley Road. And we had, at the time, one apartment completed. Well, with all of the churches closing, we didn't have any place for the families to go in the evenings. So we were, for a very short period of time, we were housing them in hotels until we were able to move into this building on a full-scale basis. So it took us about a year to get the whole building renovated. There's 10 units in there. So each family now, it's called a static site. So the families are there all the time. Just like you and I have our home, this becomes their home for the time that they're involved with us. Each family has their own individual apartment, so the families can be together, close the door, and heal together. We provide them with a laundromat. They can do their laundry there. There's a food pantry for non-perishable items, so they can get those quick, convenient things that you always run out of. And for a family, that's important because most of the families that come to us don't have personal transportation.
Right.
So that's how the program functions on a regular basis.
Okay. And you had kind of touched on it a little bit. Just talk to me a little bit about how some of the families, can take advantage of some of the amenities that you offer. I mean, obviously, you talked a little bit about the food pantry. You talked about the laundry service. What are some of the other amenities out there for people who don't know?
Mm-hmm. Well, each family, when they come to us, our case managers do a triage, for lack of a better term, on what's available to the families, and then what's missing in their daily activity. So in the building, we're real excited about the fact that we not only have the family come in, but if they have a longtime family pet, we'll take the pet as well. Because for a young child, especially, for an old child like me, I love my dog, and
right.
and to not have her in my life would be a sad thing.
Yeah.
Well, as a child, that's one more traumatic thing that happens to the child is they become homeless, but then they've got to give up that lifelong family pet. Not with us. We'll take the pet. We've had the typical dog and cats, but we've had over the course of time, we had a chinchilla. We've had a snake. So that stayed in the container. It didn't roam free in the
Oh,
shelter.
yeah.
But we tried it. We try to make the scenario family like. So whatever you would normally have in a home, that's what the shelter is like. We don't charge the families for anything in the program. The laundry is available to them on a regular basis, and that's something people don't think about when someone's homeless. How do they wash their clothes? And or if they have to go on limited dollars and go to a laundromat or whatever, it's very expensive. So we have washers and dryers in the laundry room area of the building. Families can use them whenever they need them. The food pantry is stocked by the congregations I mentioned earlier. They stayed with us when we became a static site, and once a month they do an inventory of what's available in the pantry, and then they make it happen. They make the food appear, make it happen. And it's anything, Aaron, from cereal, peanut butter, soups, anything that's non-perishable, we try to make that available to the families. Now, each family in their apartment has a full kitchen, stove, microwave, refrigerator, so they can prepare meals.
Right.
Of course, there's sleeping accommodations in there. They have their own bathroom, own private bathroom as a family. So we try to make it as home-like as we can. The families, while they're with us, our case managers work with all types of organizations in the area. For example, the families are required to go to the Financial Literacy Center over on Kenmore Boulevard. That's a great program for them because they really get a great support there. So we work with them on a regular basis. But one of the troubling things that we looked at for the longest time was, a family comes through, they were in a state of homelessness, we get them strong, their budget's strong, they're ready to go. Their mental state is strong, but they're never going to be able to be homeowners. So we sat down about 2 years ago and really, really thought through how we could make home ownership a possibility for families that have come through and have become strong in their finances and what have you. So we created a program called Survive to Thrive Destination Home Ownership. We're actually purchasing homes, Family Promise is buying the homes, and we're making them available to the families on a land contract. And then they can go from the land contract to a purchase of the home. We now have 3 homes. We have a 4th home coming to us in September. We're in the hunt for a 5th home. And it's been just a great program. The first 2 houses, we just got the 3rd house Tuesday. We signed the papers on it Tuesday. But the first 2 homes, the families are in there, they're strong, and they're going to be able to purchase the homes based on what they've come through and what they've learned. But our thought always was, okay, life gets in the way sometimes, and you're in a homeless situation. That shouldn't define the rest of your life.
Right.
But from a banking perspective, they don't qualify for a conventional loan. So the way it works is we buy the house, we renovate it, get it all up to code, and then we don't have any bank notes in this process. So through our fundraising efforts, we actually buy the home. We can work with the family on their budget. So what's exciting about that is the land contract is a recorded contract. Every time the family makes a monthly payment, their credit rating is positively impacted. Mm-hmm. The cost is coming down, so that when they're ready and they want to go to the bank and get the conventional at that point, they now have 1 to 2 years worth of solid rental payments. They have the front end of the process identified, if you will. And they're in a much better position. They've got some equity on the table, so it works out really, really nicely for them to be able to become homeowners. And home ownership is the only way you get to generational wealth.
Yeah, definitely. And it sounds like a great program to help people get that first home and everything like that. Just talk a little bit about what it's like working with all these different community members. Like you talked about the Financial Literacy Center down in Kenmore. You talked about all the different contractors that work on these homes and help rebuild it and get it up to code. Just talk to me about what it's like partnering up with not only organizations like the Financial Literacy Center, but also some of the other organizations in the community to help people get back on their feet.
I'm so glad you asked that question because we're so proud of our partners. It is just an amazing relationship. We've built this program on what we call a mission mutual approach to making it happen. So, for example, we need houses. Summit County Land Bank has houses. Some of them are in need of a lot of repair.
Right.
That's okay. We know that going in. But their mission is to get abandoned properties producing property taxes again and being a positive in the community versus a negative. So they have an inventory of houses. We worked with them. Our first house we bought was through the Summit County Land Bank. Patrick Bravo and his team and Kristen Scalise and on the board of Summit County Land Bank are just amazing to work with.
Yeah.
We need to do renovations in the houses. There's no greater program, in my opinion, than Truly Reaching You. Try Perry Clark and his program. Perry's program brings folks back into society who had been incarcerated, teaches them a trade so they can learn carpentry, plumbing, electric, and have a chance at a good life going forward. Well, again, mission mutual. He needed homes to train on. We needed their talents to fix the homes up. Perfect match. I went to Rochelle Sibio. Again, I'm biased, but my opinion, the greatest executive director for a Habitat for Humanity in the country. I love her to death. But I went to her and asked her before we started this program, Rochelle, are we copying you guys? Because I won't do that to another nonprofit. And she said, no, Jeff, this is perfect. She said, we build new houses. She said, you guys are renovating houses. How about this? How about every family that comes in and is selected for a house has to go through their 8-week home maintenance program? Aaron, it's a great program because most of our families, unfortunately, never owned a home of their own. So they go through this great program at Habitat, and it shows you how do you maintain your furnace. You got to change the filter. If that faucet leaks, how do you fix that? So it helps you as a homeowner address those issues that we all face as homeowners and prevent them from becoming big ticket repair items.
Oh, yeah.
So that works out great. EANDC, Cheryl Stevens and her team over at EANDC, they have HUD-trained housing counselors. So once the family is placed in a house, and if they need some counseling on how to be a homeowner and what to do, they have that program. They need to deploy that program. We need that service, hand in glove fit, mission mutual. So you've got all those great pieces working together, and that's what's been able to make this program a success. It has already received national attention through our national office, Family Promise National, and here a little bit later in February, we're going to be announcing a big mutual project with our Family Promise National Office and Progressive Insurance. So it's drawing great attention, but there's an answer in there because we're able to get families that were in a situation of homelessness into a situation of home ownership. And these homes are in our community. Families are moving into them. Property taxes are being collected. The neighborhood stays strong. It's all a win all the way around.
Yeah, definitely. And it sounds like a great partnership between not only yourself, but the other organizations as well. So it's definitely a team effort there. Speaking of February, talk to me a little bit about an event you got coming up in February on the 14th. I know there's a big event. I just happened to check it out on the website. Can you tell our viewers about that a little bit?
I am so excited to share this, and thanks for asking, Aaron. This is called the Empty Bowl event. It's a third-party fundraiser for us. All we do is show up. The students in the Woodridge local schools from K to graduating seniors put this on for us every year. This will be year 11. And over the course of those 11 years, they've raised in the neighborhood of $70,000 for our program. But what it is, you buy a ticket, you go to the dinner. It's soups and salad and desserts and beverages, but it's also connected with the creative side of the school system. The art students will create ceramic items, trays, bowls. So you buy your ticket, you get your meal, you get to select a piece of art from the students in the schools. The younger students in the school system, they make the placemats and laminate them, and they also have an auction for items that the students do everything. They collect the items for the auction. They get the sponsors to donate the food and what have you. And the whole idea was to show students that you have a role in your community as well. You know, it's a community is just that. You give back to it. And this is a way to teach them how to be good stewards in the community. And we gladly are the beneficiary of it because it's just a beautiful event every year. We look forward to it.
And I tell you what, as a parent of a first grade Woodridge Bulldog, I tell you, it's a really great community. I mean, we're definitely pleased with it, and I'm just excited that the school district is partnering up with you guys to create a really great event for a great cause. So I just wanted to throw that out there as well. And for people who wish to donate, for people who want to be involved or know a little bit more about Family Promise of Summit County, can you throw out that website? Can you throw out any social media for people who are interested?
Sure. Go to Family Promise SC for Summit County, familypromisesc.org. And everything is on there, how to volunteer, to donate. Come and join us. Be involved. If you like working with young folks, reading to them, we do Halloween parties, Christmas parties. We do summer cookouts at the shelter, so families have an opportunity to be a family and do the things that everybody does as a family. You're welcome to do that. If you like to swing a hammer and fix things, we can always use that. If you like to paint, whatever you think you could contribute based on what you do as a homeowner in your home, we'd love to have you join us.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Jeff. We certainly appreciate your time, and we definitely look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Great. Thank you, Aaron. Nice to be here.
And for more great interviews on WAOH TV, you can visit all social media, including our YouTube channel, and you can visit our Facebook page as well. For Jeff Wilhite, I'm Aaron Coleman from WAOH TV, saying make it a great day.